Hey guys! Today we are showing you the products that we have actually gone through this year and emptied. There's a lot, but it seems to be a lot of the same items that we really like,
yep.
And we repurchase.
It definitely does.
And yeah, so anyway, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get into it.
Alright, so first thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to start off with foundations. I purchased this a while back, and it is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Total Cover in the shade Classic Ivory. And whenever I first got it, I used it, and I loved it. But then I started getting other foundations that kind of took its place. I finally did finish it off, but as I was finishing it off, it just didn't perform as well as some of my others, so I won't repurchase it or anything. But it was pretty good, and it is a really full coverage foundation. So if you want full coverage, then this definitely has the coverage.
All right, so this is one that, didn't they come out with this year?
This year or last?
This year or late last year. This is the Maybelline Superstay Foundation. I actually have finished off 2. I say they're finished. There's nothing else that pumps out whenever I pump it, but you see it's got this very little bit in both of them that it will not, no matter how much I kind of shake it and try to get the product to move around. And I cannot for the life of me figure out how to get this off. So if y'all have any kind of suggestions rather than just beating it with a hammer or something, because this little thing here, it twists, if you can see that, but it does not come off. I have one that I am currently using, and then I do have a backup that I have for whenever I run out of that one, because I love this so much. It is a full coverage. This is the lightest shade that they make, and it is perfect for me. Probably when you're not self-tanned, it's good for you.
Yeah, that's the shade that I have as well.
But this is amazing. This has actually taken the place of my favorite high-end foundation.
So another one that I have, I actually did repurchase this. This is the empty one. I won't say that whenever I run out of that one that I'll repurchase it again. It is really good. It does have a weird smell. That is one thing about this. But yeah, I won't be repurchasing it just because the Maybelline foundation is better. There are other foundations that are better. This one is really good though. So I don't know, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Yeah. It's hard to say.
I have one of those, and I've had it for probably about a year now, and I don't use it because it does smell a little bit funny. So anyway, all right, so next I have emptied one of my Tarte Shape Tapes. Literally I have done all this, and there is nothing that comes out on this wand. This is the absolute best. I know there are dupes out there, and since I already had this, I went ahead and used it, and I currently have one that I'm using. I'm gonna have to try the dupes so that I can save a little bit of money, but yes, if I don't find the dupes, then I will be repurchasing this.
Alright, so my last foundation is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Longwear Illuminating Foundation. This is my favorite foundation. This is the lightest shade though, and as you can clearly see, it is very dark. I have it on today, just because it's my self-tan shade. I wish that it was lighter, but I will say they do have a white one that you can mix, so maybe I should get that so I can mix them, and whenever I'm not self-tanned, I can still use this foundation, because I can only use it whenever I am self-tanned. But I have repurchased it, and as of now, if I were to run out tomorrow, I would repurchase again. I love this foundation. It is really comparable to high-end. Yeah. So
next, I'm going to be talking about powder. I actually have 2 that I have I've run out of. One is the Mary Kay. This is the translucent loose powder. I definitely love this. It is a higher end, so I'm always on the lookout for a drugstore that's more comparable, and I've not found one quite like this yet. Also the AOA, this is the Perfect Setting Powder. This came from Shop Miss A. It is only $1. It is pretty good. So I probably will be purchasing this to kind of, until I find that perfect powder that I love without having to spend the price on Mary Kay. I will probably be repurchasing this, definitely.
So I'm going to talk about concealer. This is actually the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer, and this is actually one of the dupes for the Tarte Shade Tape.
I need to just go and pick one up.
Well, actually, the thing is this is actually the lightest shade.
Okay.
And it works for me whenever I'm self-tanned, but
not so much when
I'm pale. It doesn't work for me. And this is the lightest. It's the shade C2, which is either the lightest or the second to lightest, but they're both kind of on the same range. I think one is more pink tone, one's more yellow.
Yeah.
So it's just too dark.
Companies need to realize that there are some extremely light skin, and there are some extremely dark skin, and so they need to have a bigger variety of shades. And so I mean, because we suffer a lot because of that.
But another concealer that we actually really like, it's just too dark for us, is the Maybelline Age Rewind. The lightest shade,
and it's way too dark,
and it's really disappointing. But I will say this is a really good concealer. This is actually the second one I've gone through. I guess threw it away. I know I've gone through two though, but instead of putting it in my empties, I guess it just ended up in the trash instead. But I know I've gone through two, maybe even three. I feel like I bought four, and I am down to one, because I had bought one and then I bought three whenever there was a sale or something, because I knew I loved it. Anyways, it is really good. It's just really dark.
So I'm going to be talking about some lipstick. I actually have two of these. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24 color. I have the Won't Move Mauve and the All Day Plum. I absolutely love these. These stay all day. I'm completely out of the liquid lip, but I still do have a little bit of each of the cover, so it kind of doesn't stick, kind of moisturizes. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this, because I don't know why they kind of make it to where that you have,
what I do,
that's
I don't
all
know if you
I
do the same, but with those, sometimes I have to, the lipstick is still there, but it starts getting a little tacky, and I always like to reapply the little gloss or lip balm, whatever you call it.
Right.
Just to where it feels more smooth.
Right. But these are one of my favorite drugstore lipsticks, and I'm definitely going to have to go and repurchase, and I think I'm going to try a few more different shades.
So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is actually something that I go through a lot of. This is just one of the brands. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray, and I have gone through 4, maybe even more.
And I have trouble going through one.
Yeah. And that's why I'm that's great. I've said in a video, because we do Project Pan, and she has one in her Project Pan that she's trying to get through. And she really only uses it whenever she sprays it on a brush and packs shadow on her lid. She doesn't set her makeup, and that's
I do
crazy.
with powder, but I don't with setting spray.
Well, I set my face with powder, and then you put the setting
it.
spray on so where it doesn't look so powdery. I
guess I'm from a different
generation. Yes, but I use a lot of this, and I know that I keep we have a filming room, and so I keep the we have little bins that we keep our empties in, and I was just telling her, if I had it in my room, maybe I would be more likely to throw all of my empties in there, but sometimes it doesn't cross my mind, and so I empty something, it goes to the trash, it's just the way it is. And so I know I've gone through probably so many more, because I just love setting spray. It just brings the life back to your face. Like, if you don't set your face, I feel like my face just looks so dry and just it doesn't look as natural. Not that my face looks natural, but it just doesn't look as dry, I feel like.
I'm gonna have to give setting spray like a shot.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I've gone through at least 4 of just this brand, and obviously I keep repurchasing it. So
yeah.
I mean, it's really affordable. It's Wet n Wild. I mean,
right.
You can't go wrong. And I mean, it locks it into place all day. I mean, it's a really good setting spray for a really cheap price.
All right, so I'm going to talk about another lipstick. This is the NYX Slip Tease in Entice. It's kind of a plummy, kind of like a it's not just plum, it's almost like a smoky plum. And if you can see that, like, I've literally taken the wand and just like scraped. I absolutely love this. It lasts close to all day without having to be reapplied. The wand, I've gotten so used to the wand. It's a larger wand than whenever I was first using this, I was like, oh my gosh, this wand is huge and I don't like it. But I've gotten used to it and I actually do like it. I've gotten used to not applying, you know, because I mean, at first there was like way too much product going out on your lips.
I think that's my problem, because I have like tiny little lips, and so like it gets messy and it's like too large for my tiny lips, and it just covers too much space, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, so I've really grown to love this. This has kind of been like an everyday kind of makeup look. So I'm going to be repurchasing this.
Another setting spray that I have gone through is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This one is like, it's still drugstore, so it's still cheap
affordable.
and it's affordable. But it's not quite as affordable as the Wet n Wild, which is why I've only gone through just the one. I have repurchased it and I'm halfway through it. I think I'm more than halfway. I think it's like about right there. It's a really good one, but it's just not as affordable. So,
right. So
it's hard to love it just as much whenever it does kind of the same thing. The 2 things that I look for in a setting spray are that it makes my makeup last and that it makes my makeup not so powdery looking. And they both do that, so I just tend to reach for the more affordable one. That's why there's 4 of those.
I'm moving on to mascara. Most of you know that I am extra when it comes to mascara. This is the Maybelline. I got a lot of Maybelline stuff, but this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Curvitude. This has like a very small curved wand, and so it really gets in the lower lash line really good, and I love it. Right now I'm using a sample. I think it's a Clinique sample, and it's got a tiny little wand, and so I can get in there. So I haven't repurchased this yet, and I've ran into a couple of other brands that have smaller, so I'm not sure if I'll repurchase this or if I'll try to go with one of those. We get lots of mascara samples.
Yeah, and mascara seems to be something that like it takes forever to get through, yes. I feel like, and you don't want to have so many open at once.
Right.
Like, I have a ton open, and I'm like, I can't get through them all.
Right.
But, like, you get one in and you want to try it and see how it, especially for us, like, if we want to try it and let you guys know if it's a good one or not, then we have to have so many open. But, yeah. Mascara, takes forever to get through, as I've learned with Project Pan. So I'm moving on to some skincare. This is the L'Oreal Revitalift Moisturizer. I have 3 of them. I actually have another one in my bathroom, and it's empty. Yeah, and then I have another one that I'm about to crack into, although I am trying a different one, but I know I'm not going to repurchase that one, so whenever it's empty, I will go back to this, because
she
the
has
one that
raved about that
yes
one.
I love this one. It's like it's really thick, but it's not heavy. It's like really, it's just like thick and moisturizing, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It doesn't, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just like the perfect moisturizer, and it's like, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to like prevent wrinkles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like it's
I'm actually
supposed to-
thinking about trying some for myself.
It is really good.
Get, you know, some wrinkles gone.
Yeah. I don't know if it like, I don't have that many wrinkles, so it's hard for me to say like, oh, it will get rid of your wrinkles or anything.
That's why I'd like to try it.
Yeah,
And then
maybe.
we could say,
Yeah.
hey, if you're this age, then...
Yeah. Yeah. But I do really love it, and it doesn't break me out, which is great because I have tried some moisturizers that normally the really moisturizing ones seem to be really thick, and that clogs my pores and it breaks me out. But that one hasn't, so that's why I keep repurchasing it.
That's a good thing. Okay, so another mascara. This is the Makeup Forever. This is a sample that I had gotten, and I have used it. It has a very tiny little wand, so I did like this for my lower lash line. Again, I'm not sure that I'm going to purchase it because I have gotten several with smaller wands, and I did like this, but it is not a drugstore brand, so I'm like, is it gonna cost more than what I really...
For me, drugstore kills it at mascaras.
Oh yeah.
So there's no point buying like...
Yeah.
So when you get a sample, it's fun to try them. But...
Exactly. But I don't know about repurchasing.
Yeah.
So
sticking with the skincare, this has been my favorite cleansing wipes. So like what I do is I actually just like use one of these, take off my makeup, then use my cleanser, and then moisturize. I've actually added a step, and I use a micellar water after I've cleansed with a cotton ball just to make sure I've gotten all, like everything before I moisturize. But I have used several of these. This is another one of those things that I don't think about putting into my empties, so it just like goes to the trash, especially since I'm like in the bathroom and it's like, oh, it's trash, throw it away. So I know I've gone through like packs and packs and packs of these, probably like 10, maybe even more, just because like I'm using these every night that I have makeup on. These are really good though, and they're just like wet enough that they're not super harsh, like when you're rubbing your eye. Yeah, I really like those.
the last product that I'm going to talk about is also a mascara. This is the Monsieur Big mascara, and I did love this. I have not looked to see how much that it costs for a full size because I'm afraid to see what it costs.
It's really
but
expensive.
this was, it's from Lancome. So it's like I'm so scared to look because I really would love to purchase this one. This is one that I absolutely fell in love with, the sample, and was really disappointed whenever it ran out. But yeah, maybe if Santa brought me one of these, that would be awesome. But
it's a little too late for that.
I know.
Everybody's got their shopping done by now. Alright, so last things that I have are some self-tanners. And again, another one of those things. I apply this in the bathroom whenever it's empty. I toss it out. So I know there have been plenty more than just two. I've had to repurchase this a million times. I actually started off the year using, they have just a like normal Jergens mousse. This is kind of like their, I don't know if these were like limited edition to summer or if these are, I haven't really bought any recently, so I don't know if they still are selling these ones, because this is the Deep Aruba Tan, and then this is the Ultra Deep Tahiti Tan. I actually bought like another one of these just because I wanted the Ultra Deep, and in hopes that it like makes me darker, because the normal one I put on and I'm just like, I'm tanner, but like not much.
Yeah.
So then like, you know, I put this one on and I'm like, okay, I can see that I'm tanned. And with the normal one, it's like you have to build it up over a few days, and I hate having to do that. I hate like having to shower every day and like make sure my skin is like, you know, shaved and ready for self-tanner and like 3 days in a row just to build up that tan. Whereas if you just this one, one time, that's all it takes, and then I've got that perfect tan. But I will continue repurchasing that one if they still have
continue
this
to make
shade.
it.
Yeah. that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hit the post notification bell so you're notified each and every time we upload.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are Glam and Glamour on all of them. And until our next video, bye!